my name's Kate. I decided to do gender biases in the workplace. Um, so, gender discrimination is when women are subject to physical, emotional, and mental abuse in their daily lives. A form of this gender bias is like at work, men think that they are smarter, stronger, and more deserving of leadership roles. This costs women sanity, dignity, and opportunities for advancement. Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing two articles I read. One shows the impact of gender discrimination, and the other shows that there are positive changes happening to decrease gender discrimination. So the first article I read was a New York surgeon's lawsuit highlights gender discrimination in medical profession. This was from NBC News, and this Dr. Keller, the second-year attending colorectal surgeon at New York Presbyterian Hospital, she is suing her employer for gender discrimination. She reports many things. She reports that the male supervisor, the head surgeon, removed her from her office to allow other male fellow providers into her office. She was the only one subject to administrative duties where her male colleagues were not. Her boss also made inappropriate comments about her appearance, and she also mentioned a pay gap between male and female providers. So Dr. Keller advocated for herself. She ended up facing retaliation. The hospital didn't want to renew her contract. She was placed on administrative leave after being accused of having a relationship with a male colleague. She ended up losing half of her salary and was later suspended. She also mentioned that the average female surgeons are paid only 75 cents to every dollar earned by male surgeons. This shows that gender biases are real and women are having to fight for every aspect of their lives. Next, I read an article by Dr. Nita Shami. She discusses gender bias in medicine also. She mentions she had some issues with gender discrimination. She was denied a promotion because she was considered a young mom with young children, so maybe she looked like she didn't need a promotion. She was also denied a raise because her husband made good money. She then goes on to mention that companies are trying to be more progressive in eliminating gender discrimination. They are offering diversity and inclusion training. They're creating mentorships, and women are getting promoted into leadership roles. Women are also speaking out about biases, and also men are stepping up to kind of help promote women and get rid of these gender discriminations. The book relates to these two articles because it mentions that jobs are set up to not be feasible for women, especially women in childbearing years. Most of the jobs are expected. People work long hours to travel, attend conferences, and accepting unpopular shifts like 12 to 12 or overnight shift. This creates a disadvantage for women, especially women who have families and who need to run the household if they don't have a secondary support system. This is very difficult for women when it comes to having a life outside of work. And this just reinforces that stereotypes and gender inequalities are still happening. My personal experience is at my last job I worked with many providers, and there were only 2 female providers out of the entire facility, and just viewing how they interacted with each other, I felt like they had to be almost in a way meaner. They had to show that they were competent of their job and that they knew exactly what they were doing. I would notice that male providers would prefer to talk to male providers and not reach out to the female providers. But there is change happening. As mentioned in my second article that I read, men are starting to support women more, and we are breaking these gender discriminations. We are creating change. Women are becoming, being put in leadership roles, and women are becoming more into being like head of the company, or you just see it happening that gender is hopefully at some point going to become more equal. Here are my references, and thank you for your time.